Welcome to Apex Esports League. I'm JT. Tonight we're live on Project Cars 2 and we have the Pagnian Imports Ginetta G40 Cup. And then it is round 2 tonight, so that sees us at Dubai Autodrome Club. So a nice short track around Dubai. The round details tonight, we've got 15 minutes qualifying. Weather conditions are medium cloud, and the race is 24 laps. Weather is heavy cloud through to overcast, and there is a mandatory pit requirement. Our standings as of round 1, we have the Head Farmer leading on 150 points, Cliff in position 2 for 131, and DK on 117 in third. And our round last week, for the opening round, we're at Royal Pagnian Park Club, and we had a clean sweep to open the series for Head Farmer, and it was his first win with Apex. And then what a way to do it, getting pole position, fastest lap, and also the race victory. We just missed the track loading, so it's actually just jumped straight in a very fast load for this version of the track. We're now trackside. The guys are there getting out ready to set those qualifying times. I've got 9 drivers in the session at the moment. And sadly we don't have Dirty Monkey joining us. He has decided to pull out of Project Cars 2 for the time being. He's had a whole lot of connection issues and clashing. Just to try and save the dramas, he's going to be holding out, make that jump across into iRacing. As many of our Project Cars drivers have been doing. And a driver we haven't seen for a while is Spray and Pray. Work commitments keeping him away on Thursday nights. So that's changed for a little while, so he's going to be joining us for the series. It's going to be great. Hey Mark, thanks for jumping on the stream. Need to cheer on Mick. Over to Tyjo. He was unable to make it last week for personal reasons. And we'll honour tonight's race to Tyjo's grandfather, who's just recently passed away. So our thoughts are with Tyjo and his family in this hard time. But he'll be racing his grandfather's honour tonight, so all the best to Tyjo. Hopefully he can take that out as a win. His grandfather did enjoy getting involved in his sim racing. Yeah, Mark, tyre temps at Dubai is an issue. And it will be interesting with the forced default setups for this series. Had a very close race last week with all the drivers managing to finish on the lead lap, and even the fastest lap for each driver in both qualifying and the race, only a matter of a couple of seconds difference. Spray taking over the car number 29. That was Dirty Monkey's car that he started off in last week. He's decided to jump in that same number and continue that on for Dirty. And Mick had a fantastic run last week, and he's doing it while driving one-handed while having a shoulder injury. He'll be getting the times that he's got. Even Mick pointing out that was quite mean to him for this series is the short courses, the amount of S's that are in the variation of the short courses of the tracks. That's where we saw last week at Rilpunya through the S's. Nick was struggling through that sector. But then the rest he was fine. So just trying to get that car through one-handed makes it all the more difficult. And we'll bring up track map. Since we didn't get to load up the track loading session, it was actually nice that we got very quick load in. I think it's a good sign that we won't have too many connection issues. Last week even, and getting disconnected in the qualifying myself. You can see that back end of sector 2. Some tight S's there, otherwise they're mostly flowing corners and some good straights. It's going to be very fast and very tight here at Dubai in the club variant. If you are joining us for the stream, jump in the chat as Mark has. There's no here to cheer on and support. Don't forget to use those sound effects controls underneath the stream to apply a variety of different fun things so you can muck around as the session progresses. You can applaud, boo, and some other fun effects as well. Head Farmer already showing some very good pace, getting in a 107 flat. My voice is not too quiet and too croaky. I'm not feeling 100% today. So hopefully it will last out for the race. Got some very quick times where it's exactly 2 seconds separating 9 drivers. That Wheeler coming in with a 109.080. And there's not a whole lot of difference between myself and Tyjo's time. Going to go from pole 107.080 through to a 109.080. It's a good sign that we're in for another great race tonight. Last week was fantastic. We're even seeing qualifying times being set early on in the start of the race, even from out the front. Considering when it's locked to default setups, it'll give enough fuel to be able to last out the session. The game will just load in each time they bring the car out onto the track in the qualifying. It'll give them enough for the 15 minutes of fuel. And then once we're into the race, it'll give sufficient fuel to get them through the 24 laps. They're going to be going out there with a lot more fuel so to be able to then lay down a much faster time. It's pretty spectacular. And Big Les is doing well there with a 107.887. We'll make sure we go down through the list. Now, DK, we just had the head farmer before. Big Les has just been bopped down a spot. Tyjo's moved up into P3. Big Les qualifying 4th. He's set a 108. He's qualified himself 5th. For getting any new viewers to the stream, do hit that follow button. I think we're only about 4 followers away from our milestone of 300. We've climbed that up nice and quick throughout the previous series. And a nice influx just in that last week, which is great. Thank you very much for the support. Pretender before then we are over to Hammer. Tawajo's just had his lap time invalidated, and he's just brought the car back in the pit, so he's obviously had some dramas. Black Hammer holding back a little bit, might have been some traffic up ahead. Just trying to get a nice clear run down him through this final corner. Ball spray, not realising it was default setups. Spent the week working on a setup for the car. Might take a few laps just to try and get it in, but it looks like the default setup for the Ginetta G40 GT5 version is actually pretty decent. And saying it being default, if the drivers were to come into the pits, they would have control over changing the tyre compound and the tyre pressures. Apparently fixed from the point of the car gridding and coming out of pit lane. They can utilise that pit stop during qualifying and the race to mix that up. We'll jump on board for a lap. Jump on board with third since he's just coming through the final corner. He's just bumped himself up on that lap too. That was a 108.626. So a nice long pit straight down into turn 1. Double apex hairpin, very fast. See the other variation heading off to the left. This actually connects up onto the back end of sector 2 in the national variant. A lot of slide as he throws that car through, and then up into the uphill section and into the S's. Very sharp hairpin. A couple of dips through the corner. Sweeping right-hander off crest. Comes down into the final corner. Very quick corner. Vert was just bumped down as well. Sprays teetering positions. There we go. That's made a movement for Vert. 2 positions taken up there. 108.512 puts him into 7th. Head Farmer, no movement on that pole time. Just the back end of the field that's just closing that gap in further and further. Improvement there for DK. He quickly gets the car back out on track. Looks like I've just had disconnection myself as well, yet again. At the same time, chat channel and another app for the controls, so I have to jump out here. Rejoin back in. Same thing as last week within those last few minutes. Quite interesting at this exact same time. I just stuck on DK in the pits. Disconnect. It's interesting that we're getting that exact same point. Kicked out and waiting for these last few minutes. Hopefully we can join in the back end of qualifying. Looks like the same unfortunate issue. We're also going to be fixed on DK to wrap up these last couple of minutes. Just which cars we're looking at. I'm still holding that pole position. If DK can try and rein in These next couple of laps, he may have an opportunity to move up a bit. Lap for DK, so this will be first timed one with not much left on the clock. Now we get one more qualifying lap in, so he wants to take the pole position. This is it. Pet Farmer still out on track. Gonna try and improve that time. Philly, thanks for jumping on the stream. Oh no, injured finger. Shattered too, that's not a good sign. Hope it's not too drastic on the Philly. Everyone's been copping the injuries of late. A bad run of luck for us. It's 40 seconds left now. That means DK is going to have one more lap. Doesn't improve that time, so there's only a few drivers left now. Of course, we've got 26 seconds of staring at the garage pillars since I can't change the screen until the qualifying results pop up. Control screen, and there we go, the drivers all brought the car back into the pits. We can at least look at those results, and I do have to just move myself so I can actually see a little bit closer and grab a screenshot so we can get those results. Then we've got Head Farmer taking pole in round 2 for Dubai Autodrome Club, and the rest of the grid is then DK Rush, Tyjo Mickliffe, Pretender, Big Les Gaming, Spray and Pray, Vert Wheeler, and Hammer. So it's a movement again by Spray, so making his way back up a little, teetering between Vert and Spray in the qualifying. Hopefully I've managed to take a screenshot. Maybe I haven't. There we go. So that will get us through, and then off we into the grid now. Track length for Dubai Autodrome Club is only 2.46 kilometers with 11 turns, so it is a very short and quick track. With only having 1.5 seconds separating the field, and seeing similar last week as well. We should be able to change cars here now. I am back in and under control. Annoying at the back end of that qualifying, but the good thing, I will get an up-to-date race feed for sector times throughout the race now when this does occur. So we'll get a bit of extra data that we don't usually get through. Unfortunately, these connection issues becoming more and more common with the title. There we go, the driver's readied up already. So there's not a whole lot of changing setups. Just going to make sure their pit strategies are set right. Game synced, lights about to go green for round 2. See, lights come up on the screen once I do it this way. DK's moved on up in the lead. He's got that inside line. He's going to have to shave some speed off. Head Farm's going to be able to push down a fair bit of speed. Maybe get him on the exit here. He's going to be carrying a lot more pace ready for that next corner. Oh no, he's backed off and there's a tap from behind. Tyjo makes a little touch to Head Farmer. They were holding real close. Look at that. Head Farmer swings out. Tries to get track position through the S's. Look how bumpy it is in those cars. They are getting thrown around through that S's. Something's happened to Hammer. He's 11 seconds back. Not sure if he's made contact. He's still within range. He doesn't appear to have taken any damage. He's got ample time to be able to catch up some ground. DK pulling ahead to Ijo and Head Farmer side by side. Mick trying to peek around 3 wide. Tyjo stuck in the middle, awesome lag amongst all of that. That's huge hit. Tyjo gets collected. Head Farmer's destroyed that car. Hopefully it's still drivable. Hasn't got any front aero. The rear has gone. He redresses the looks of it. Car. Oh yeah, car's not steering. Whoop. Trying to drive that car, it's not working. It's going to be a long pit stop. But Wheeler moves up into position too. He's fighting it with Mick. Mick's just marginally ahead. Rampray got fastest. Sector 3. The fastest lap was DK by 107. Oh no, Head Farmer's just come in and he's copped a pit lane violation, as has Tyjo. Ray having some dramas. Pretender goes for an outside move and gets Vert Wheeler. It's quite a game move down through that section, as it is very bumpy. That car can become very unsettled and bounce out across. But it's got to slow down. It's cost him a post-race time penalty. DK now pushing out 4.5 seconds. Ray pitting in. Head Farmer still getting those repairs. This is going to be costly. Tender and Vert fighting it out for P3. Back underway now. Let's put Head Farmer a lap behind. Been saying that he's only a minute 35 behind. And the car's definitely going to have enough tyres and fuel to last out the race. So that can be his mandatory pit. So he can easily make up some ground, especially with the fast times that he's been setting. If he can keep the consistent fastest laps, he's going to be able to close that gap in over the course of 20 laps. Mick starting to close the gap in a bit more. Managed to close in a few temps. We'll take a look and see what those post-race time penalties are. That gets a good amount of mid-corner speed. Isn't able to capitalise for the S's. DK's lap a 108.7. Nick does a 107.3. And he's pushed that gap down to 3 seconds now. Spray coming in for the early pit. It's taken about 20 seconds for the stop. That's potentially another 16 on the back end with getting in and out. That Wheeler. Chasing down Pretender. Yeah, unique noise comes out of these cars. Getting a nice slipstream. Holds on a bit more through the S's this time. Tender got a much better run out of their previous laps. Autodrome trying to close in the big Les. Farmer trying to make up for some ground. Previous lap of 107.7. Just put a bit of gap on again. Deciding to come into the pits. Joe's has copped another time penalty for exceeding track limits. Fastest sector 1 time is going to Vert Wheeler. Oh, he's overshot it. What's going on? Actually, the crew's come looking for him. It isn't his. No, it was his bay. Actually even went chasing him, which is rather interesting. It's definitely cost him some time. If all goes well for the pit stop for Pretender, that could potentially see him with a fairer gap ahead once he's got that mandatory out of the way. Being able to hold off Tyjo and there's can't go any pressure. Just focused in and getting that car for each corner nicely. Tyjo Taiju go through a wider line and try and carry a bit more exit speed. I don't think it's paid off. He's going to have to try and close in really quickly here. With that nice slipstream right from the start through corner 11. There's a two-car slip here, that spray up ahead. May be able to have enough to try and commit to a pass. He has to look back a little bit. I don't think he's going to be able to. He's starting to stay out wide again. DK is pushing out that gap again for lap 11 of 24, so nearly halfway through. Yeah, a fair few drivers come in and pit already. Hammer now peeling off. Drew running out to meet him. Mick still getting 107 lap times. So that gap's dropped back on him. DK getting a few tenths quicker. Hydro drops back again from turn 11. I'm fairly sure there may have been a little bit of a slip with that. And he's also got a time penalty for exceeding track limits again from the looks of it. Hydro's got the fastest sector 3. Tender pitting now. Burt moves up. Pretender in the pits. Hammer, Big Les and Spray charging down the straight. Pretender's just come out of the pits. Pucks in between them. Hammer and Taijo having pit. I think Big Les may have been in as well. Oh, a little bit slippery. That car got unstable through those bumps in the S's. I was mentioning before, it can easily get that car unsettled. Doesn't take much. Especially short wheelbase cars. Unfortunately, it's cost him losing a few positions after having a pretty good run, but he could easily make that up. He's been getting some pretty good lap times. That lap costing him about 5 seconds from that error. Taijo loses some pace coming down for that first corner. Open the door for Hammer. Hammer gets another good run. I think Pretender's got some damage, or he's abiding by a slowdown potentially. He moved aside and dropped that pace really quickly. Sort of drama's going on. For lap 14 of 24, DK is in the lead. coming into the pits now. I think it was almost the last decision. They've contemplated staying out for another lap. With Mick racing with an injured shoulder as well. They're going out around that halfway point, having a rest, even if it is only just a short one. Keep him nice and fresh for that next stint. Oh, some drama for Hammer. Game didn't like that. That was a solid hit. There's a little bit of clipping that went on with that contact. I think he has hit it relatively front on. Tyjo's going to be having some steering issues. He's actually, I think it may be more the left-hand side. Stays out on track. Appear to be fighting the steering too much. Maybe a little bit of left-hand pull. Yeah, the car's definitely wandering. He'll be able to contend with that because he has already been and got that mandatory pit out of the way, so he doesn't have to come in for another stop unless the damage is drastic. Interesting line for Contender, or he gets a little bit caught off guard through the S's as well. And maybe a little bit of debris on track potentially. We've seen a few cars start to slip out there. Hammer's carrying a good amount of speed. He's going to be able to get the run on him down the straight. Got that exit a lot nicer. He's in the slipstream. Kenner's going to be able to use the one move the block. He's done that, so he's going to have to stay with that line now. So that's put him to the inside. He's lucky it is a relatively quick turn one. It's a very nice counter move. Let's put him offline for the following corner. Oh, and Big Les makes an opportunity as well, and he's going to have him just for the S's. Shender takes that very tight a line. Had both Pretender and Les get a little bit unstable through those S's. Right on the tail of Les. Cam with Pretender. Look at the speed he's carrying. And drop off a little bit. He started to understeer out, but he could have probably slid the car through. Les makes a move on Hammer. Gets the track position. Can we almost see a switchback happen here for Hammer? Elbows out wide enough for Les. Defended that track position throughout the corner. He's made a good little comeback after that off through the S's. 7 laps to go if he can hold that. Take a quick look at the timing of these post-race penalties. There's 3 seconds to Vert Wheeler, 1 second for Pretender. More hefty times with Tyjo and the head farmer. So 15 seconds for Tyjo, 11 for head farmers. 10 seconds of those each was on their pit entry. They both came into the pits at the same time after making contact. I think it was lap 3. They came in speeding about, I think, 10 to 15 kilometres over the allowed speed limit in pit lane will give you 10-second penalty straight up. Lap traffic to contend with now for DK. That's Pretender just up ahead now. So he's already made his way through Head Farmer, Taijo and Hammer. Mix dropped back by 33 seconds. He has been in a pit. DK needs to fit. We were estimating around 26 to 30 odd seconds to get the pit stop underway. If Mick can really focus in now, he might be able to close in some pretty good laps and make that gap very quick. Hammer's just got a position over Pretender. Makes the move down pit straight, but he got that curb that's really unsettled the car. He had to roll off that throttle as it was going to start steering that car to the outside of the corner. Pretender got that nose in far enough along to have some equal share to that corner. But it wasn't the actual fastest line to be taking. Even if you're not going to be committing to that yet, just starting to place your car in a few different positions, just start catching your opponent off guard, you can put that pressure on, and they're not going to know which way you're going to be going next time. And start trying to force them to cover a different line. And as soon as they do, they're allowed to make that change. The attacker does have the opportunity to be able to make a move within that braking zone. He also gets that inside curb, catches him off guard, having to take that much tighter line. Is he going to try and move that car across? Let's pretend it gets a very nice wide line, carries a fair bit of speed through the corners. Let's cut him off a little bit short in that following corner. These two having a fantastic little battle. Blue flag showing for Big Les. He's moved aside because he's trying not to roll back off that throttle because he's going to lose a heap of speed if he does. DK can see he's got a fair gap. As Big Les has only got a few second lead over Hammer. Pretender's drop back. Big Les is trying to let the race lead through, also doesn't want to sacrifice that time. So you have to try and find a nice opportunity where you can just take a wider corner. Just like that, just let DK through. Look at that, because Hammer's right behind him, only 2 seconds away. In comes DK. This will be interesting. This is where Mick is 30 seconds away. He was at 33 seconds when he came back out from his mandatory pit. This is going to have to be super quick for DK. This could be the opportunity for Mick to take the race lead. With Head Farmer having some big bad luck getting tangled up early on in the race. Be some ground for Mick to make up some points, possibly move forward on the championship lead. Hey, cool boy, thanks for jumping on the stream. Oh, DK's just exiting the pits now. Mick's about halfway down pit straight. Probably going to be about 4 second gap. few times until we get through the next one. There's 6.5 seconds. Spray and Pray's moved up to P3. Good, thanks, cool boy. Hope you're well. That's 4 seconds away from Spray. There's nearly a 7-second gap to Big Les. Lap 23 of 24 about to cross the line. That will be white flag, final lap. All mandatory pits are done. One more time around. Yeah, cool boys, shoot me through a message on the Discord. So there's a fair bit of spacing now. Big Led's 3 seconds split between himself and Hammer. Pretender only 2 seconds away from Hammer, but he does have that post-race time penalty, so an extra second going to him. Bert Wheeler's got 3 seconds. Big Les can make up an extra few seconds here. Could potentially gain a position. And there we are, flash of the lights for DK, wrapping up a win for round 2. Nick Cliff taking another P2. And Spray, after a period of absence, to be coming up with podium in P3. Flashing those lights, he's happy with that result. But Wheeler doing well, and he's got enough time. That is a lap car that's behind him, so that's fine. But it may have been Big Les's car, similar looking car, so he doesn't lose that spot. Les gained about a second over that point, so doing very well. Then we have our race results for round 2 at Dubai Autodrome. The Pagnian Imports Ginetta G40 Cup. DK Rush is our race winner. And then who's taking the fastest lap? We can see it's a 107. I think it's a 107, 104. And that goes to DK, so an extra 5 points going his way. So we'll carry on getting those extra points. But race win to DK on the podium, P2, Mick Cliff and Spray and Pray in P3. Then the rest of the standings is Vert Wheeler, Big Les Gaming, Hammer, the Pretender, the Head Farmer, and Tyjo. So we'll be adding in our podium finishes now. So we have DK, Mick and Spray joining us in a moment. While this loading very slow on me. And those invites through, we'll see them join us in a moment. And congrats, Spray. Good way to come back after a period of absence. Take P3.
Oh, I know. I did it last time, last race in the GT3 cars, and I've done it again. So
yeah, that's it.
Don't expect to see me for another month, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's good run, and it wasn't too much to try and get used to after practicing with a setup.
Oh, mate, no, I didn't use the setup.
You didn't?
Practice. No, I'm not that silly. No, but I thought it was all over after I spun, and I just kept losing it. I thought, oh well, have a bit of fun.
Yeah, I managed to keep powering through, and even pretty good lap time too, 108, 139. So
Yeah, trying to
Having the
catch Vert.
107s, 108s.
Yeah, trying to catch Vert was helpful.
It was very close and some good battles, so well done.
Mm.
And congrats, Mick. Another P2.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, I don't know what happened on the outside of me, but 3 wide probably didn't compute.
No. You managed to
Yeah.
hold off it. And then that gap almost closed in a bit too.
Yeah,
Back
I
end.
couldn't let the gap go. I couldn't let him go, so I pulled in there and hope for the best. But the other two got into each other. I think. I hope I didn't push him out too far or anything.
No, it was just a little bit of rear contact. I think maybe a little bit of lag involved in it.
Yeah, they got together. I was right next to them and behind them, so.
Yeah, but I couldn't catch DK. He was
Didn't have much of his car left, so.
No, poor fella. And I was happy with my lap time. I thought I was on, might have been on for fastest, but no.
Yeah,
DK's
not
got that
far
too.
off. Not far off, no. And then with two consistent P2s and Head Farmer dropping down, it might make things pretty close for the championship lead. So
Yeah, hopefully.
that's what happened last series with DK. Take the championship win with just consistent podium finishes.
Yeah. Congratulations to Spray.
Yeah, big
On the
congrats to
podium,
Spray
coming back.
after been away
Thanks,
for a while.
boys.
Yep.
Straight on the podium.
Unforeseen errors really helped that one, but
Yeah, you must have had a really good setup.
oh mate,
Yeah.
I had a dial. I put it on the dyno. It was like rear wing, got nothing.
Oh, awesome.
Mate, that was all straight line speed.
I might have
It was all that stable setup. That was the secret.
Stable? Oh mate, you wish. Nah.
And congrats, DK. Take the win.
Cheers, JC. Yeah.
Fastest lap too.
Yeah, I was surprised about that, but as soon as I saw what chaos going on behind me, I thought I'd just try and push as hard as I could, and once I got a 4-second gap, I just backed off to try and save my tyres, and I knew I didn't have to change, so yeah. I knew Mick was going to be
Paid
quick
off.
though. Yeah, it did. I wasn't sure who was involved behind me, but turns out it looks like Farmer was involved in it, so yeah, it's a pity because we were sort of looking forward to a good battle there. 'Cause he's been
Yeah, it
all
would have
day.
been a good fight, especially similar lap times too. So we did the 107.4. It was just that long repair. There wasn't much left of that front end of the car.
Yeah, I was hoping for third at best with Farmer and DK.
Yeah, you done well.
Got a
It'd be
trade
great
off
to see
though.
what you could be pulling off if you weren't doing it one-handed, mate.
Yeah, well, I will confess, I did use my right hand a couple of laps.
Congrats to
hope
Mick
Miso's
on
not
another
listening.
podium.
Yeah, I think you just
Good job.
got in trouble there.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'll quickly jump on and try and edit that bit for you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Mrs. catches wind of that, she'll be up me.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations. It was great. It was very close times throughout, so it looks like it's going to be the theme for this series. It's going to be quite exciting.
Yeah.
Should be
Who was on pole?
Always do that.
Did Farmer get the pole, did he?
Yeah, Farmer
Yeah,
got the
yeah.
pole by a tenth.
So not a clean sweep, but close enough. Good work,
No.
DK.
Yeah, no, I thought, yeah, almost clean sweep. I didn't get.
I took everyone out behind you, mate. No.
I qualified second. Got the fastest lap and won the race.
Yeah.
Should have made the points interesting because Farmer had the long pit stop, so.
Yeah, I was umming and ahhing whether to try and chase you down or not, and I couldn't sustain that kind of pace.
And then the
So
good thing is
generally-
with a smaller field too, points-wise, you'll be still getting a reasonable amount of points, especially with the qualifying in pole. So it's going to be nice and close on that championship standing. So it's going to be
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't ruin it for him.
Yeah, and so even when I
plenty of
caught some
rounds
of
to catch up.
even when I caught some of the back markers, some of the lap cars, it's hard to overtake because they're just almost just as fast as you are, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and especially in the short courses as
In
well,
the
they were
short
battling. So I
courses,
saw you were trying to get around Big Les, and he only had a
Yeah.
2-second gap between him and Hammer. So he if he rolled off on that straight,
I
Hamilton got
know.
him.
Oh yeah,
know.
2
It's
seconds
hard.
is a lot, isn't it?
You kind of want to
not
try and
much,
get
sorry.
past them, but you don't want to
No,
hold
it's
them up.
close.
That's why I ended up saying the big lads. I ended up saying I'm getting ready to pit, so just go right past me.
Yeah.
Just trying to
Well,
find that
JT,
right
I'll be
corner
happy to
let them
put
through.
in 4th, alright? Put me in 4th in the championship and we'll call it a day.
No, well done, Spray. After been
Yeah,
away for a
that's
little
too
bit,
good.
coming straight back on the podium again, right?
Yeah, thanks boys.
Yeah,
All
Beginner's
that
luck.
carding's paid off.
Yeah, that's just beginner's luck, mate.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
first time in the sim, what can I say?
yeah, no worries.
Veteran of 1,000 races.
Thanks again, JT, for the race.
No worries,
Yeah,
yeah.
thanks,
Good luck
JT.
with
Next
Oscherslaben next week. It's going to be
Yeah.
another close one.
Yeah, Oschersleben.
Yeah.
I love that track.
I'll start practicing in a month's time for it. And we'll do it.
We'll talk to you on the podium next week then.
Yeah.
Exactly. You got to share that setup, Spray.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I will,
JT.
mate.
Yeah, no worries, guys.
Alright, see
Alright,
you.
thanks, JT.
Bye.
See you.
Cheers.
There we have our podium finishes. DK taking the win for round 2. Then Mick Cliff in P2 and Spray and Pray in P3. And that is after a bit of absence, so we'll bring up, we'll just move wrong details. So checking out for round 3, so we are off to Oscherslaben B course, another short course. We have loaded up all short tracks for the series to really tighten it up with those default setups, so it's going to be a very exciting series. The first 2 rounds have been fantastic, so do hit that follow button if you haven't done so, so you can be notified when we go live. So we're here 7:45 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Time on Thursday nights with Project Cars 2, and 7:35 PM on Mondays with iRacing, and that's in the Toyota GR86s, so some other small cars with a lot of power to be able to thrash around on shorter courses, so do stay tuned for that as well. Thanks for tuning in and hope to see you next time.